So I was trying to make a joint in three.js in terms of, trying to make something like a door. And obviously went into the physics engine I was using, which was Rapier, and I saw that they did things a little bit different because I was using React 3 Fiber, and that meant I had to use React 3 Rapier, and the documentation was a bit different because they use something called the world. So I just had to find the joint in React 3 Rapier and find the documentation. It's actually pretty easy, as you can see. It's just you use the hook, so you use Revolute joints, and I had to use a Revolute joint because that's, in my understanding, is what I would have to use for Hinge in order to make a door. As you can, I just straight out copied the documentation, and obviously you just get two rigid bodies, and then you use a ref hook, and obviously you just play around the position, and you get something that looks like this. And obviously, one rigid body is fixed, and the other one is dynamic, and the dynamic one turns around the fixed one like a normal hinge would. And just so you can see the joint a little bit better, I'm just going to change the X and Y values. And as you can see, the joint is a blue thing, so that's what represents the joint. And so I thought the simple thing would be to do was just get a 3D model of a door, and then just separate the two by frame and the door itself, and then just put a rigid body between the two or around the two, as I do with the two blocks. And as you can see, the frame is the fixed body, and then the door is the dynamic one. But as you can see, things aren't working quite as well as what I wanted them to, and I just couldn't understand why. And then I thought about, obviously it has to do something with where the joint is coming from in terms of the inflection point of the frame. And as you see now, if I do rotate it on the x-axis, everything should be flipped around, and just change the y, which would now be representative of the z value since everything was rotated. And things are a little bit weird now, so I just got to increase the y value of the door itself, so it's just a little bit higher in the scene. And as you can see, I have to do a quick reload. The hinge is sitting there in a very awkward place, so if you had to use a hinge there in that place, it just wouldn't work. And thought maybe if I change the, like in the documentation said, change the axis with respect to the local space of the rigid body, I thought I could maybe do it with the door and the frame, but it just wasn't possible. So I came with something like this, where I just used something else as the fixed rigid body instead of the frame, and it works, but it's still not the door and the frame. It's something else representing a frame, and obviously I had to use something else to stop the door as well instead of using the frame itself. So it works, but it's not that great. It's for me it's a little bit sneaky, and it doesn't look that good. You can see the door and the frame don't really mesh together well. So I thought maybe if I play around with the X and Y value in terms of the local space like I did there, I just couldn't find a way. It wasn't possible.
Why isn't it possible?
It's just not.
Why not, you stupid bastard?
So I had to find something else, and so there was another way.
There's got to be a better way. And there is, Kevin.
That way was in Blender, so I thought maybe if I can change the axis itself or the inflection point of the door. And as you see now, I've already done it on this one. It's you'll see what it is. It's right there in the center, and as I'm going to demonstrate now, you can easily move it just by setting it to local, and then obviously clicking, not unclicking it, and then just like I did there, you can move it, and obviously you have to bring it into the scene again. And there you go. It works like a door. It looks a lot better as well. Well, in my opinion, it looks a lot better. And in terms of how it would look in game, obviously bring everything in now, and you'll see how it works. And it should look exactly the same. And there you go, a door.